Welcome back to another live session, traders. Starting up NFP today, starting with the news coming later today, as gold almost moved as predicted, as expected along the way. Now, this is another trading day that looking forward to see some good trade coming. Early we had secured with all of you guys. I think majority of you are here now. In our previous session, we had a successful trade. Have you had a profit target hit in the previous one, guys? You see that from where we have started, the market moved exactly. We out earlier, but some of you probably have done that because I was ending the live session. I had to exit the trade. But now with that trade consecutively in this previous week plus this week, except on Friday, all trade winner. Have you guys experienced that? All trade winner from past week till now, except on Friday, one trade didn't work out, but that's how trading. Like more than 90%. Did you enjoy? Say yes. Do you want to look at another profitable trade here, or maybe not profitable, but the most important part here is to learn the strategy and at the same time staying in the edge, right? Let's look at here on gold now. Looking at, we see that quite a few instrument currently trending at the moment. Here is looking at the daily chart. You guys looking at starting another trading day. Yes, say yes. The more yes, the more trade coming, right? Because when everyone think in the same way, things happen. Say yes or write Y in the live chat to be in the same zone. Cool. I see. Yep. Welcome. That's good. Thank you for that. Let's begin. Okay. Now, gold, after retest of this daily support, the market has bounced back to the upside here, right? Which is a key level of support, currently bouncing off that level. Looking at first of all, I'm going to do the full multi-time frame analysis. Gold has created an all-time high. If you guys looked at, you can see that today is the first day the market has crossed that monthly high and then immediately has come back for a pullback, but it's now pushing back again, means that we might see that another push back to the upside here on gold, and that might lead the price potentially back to the upside here. Looking at weekly, as the first day of trading week, we can see the market is showing significant trading opportunity here. Starting from this resistance line here, you can see this is where the high, okay, this weekly doji, and from that weekly doji the market had dropped to that key level of support. And from this support, you can see the market has moved back here, dropped to that, move back here, drop to that. So we see that there is a pattern here that showing series of high and low, and then putting pressure on that resistance. And as a result, we saw the market has in fact broken that structure back to the upside here. And at the moment, as the market trend is up here, that you can see, and we could see the market potentially to cross that, break that high, and then to create a new higher high in this market. So we see it's a bull market, right? That's a bull market. The market is trending and we can expect it to continue to trend back to the upside. Now here on the daily, that we can see from the daily perspective here, this is the daily support level, and we have seen early the market tested the daily low, and then it in fact rejected back to the upside here. So we see that 3 time frame showing possible upside. Do you think gold is going to be bullish or it's gonna drop back below? I'm going to post a poll before we progress further analysis. Really, if you guys share your opinion, that's gonna be awesome. Today, do you think gold bullish or bearish? I'm sharing with a poll. We can see the market showing on gold is I have shared a poll here, and that's quite significant, this poll. If you guys cast a vote, it will be helpful to see exactly what most of the traders are thinking, and from there you can draw some understanding, because is the market created an all-time high coming for a deeper pullback, that means downtrend, or it's still keep pushing back to the upside here. So far we see that upside here. We bought from this support level, and we can see the market has moved back to the upside here. So looking at here on the 4-hour chart, and from the 4-hour perspective, you can see the market has dropped to that support, and with this breaking below to this support level on gold, we can see this is an important support level, and expecting it to potentially bounce back. We have seen so far significant bounce from this intraday support level. Okay, so with that bounce, as it is in a bullish momentum, we could see the market potentially to continue to trend back to the upside here. So after crossing that level, after going to the level, we can see the market now coming to this support level here. So that being said, if we look at the lower time frame here, this is the 4-hour support, and you can see that exactly reaching that zone that we discussed. I have posted also analysis, guys. I hope that you guys have watched that analysis. That's a great learning educational content that I'm posting. If you haven't watched that, I highly encourage you to watch it. That will help you to also to take your trading to the next level, right? So make sure you subscribe to the channel and also press the notification bell. I'm pausing for 10 seconds so that you can press that subscribe button. Probably you are following me for a long time but forgot to do that. Done. Well done. Very good. And also press the notification bell so that you are not missing the content that I'm posting every single day. Now here is what we can see, that after reaching that key level of resistance, you can see the market reach that key level of resistance, which is a narrow liquidity zone. Okay, so you can see the market reach that liquidity zone here, and from the liquidity zone, the market, if you look at here, you can see it has got that rejection here. Now where the market is coming, in fact, to this support level here in this lower time frame, and as the market is coming to this support level, this is the 4-hour level, and because it's a bull market, if you guys looked at previous session, we saw the market in the previous session drop. Okay, previous session drop to that support where there is a liquidity grab here, and then the market, if you look at here, you can see that it pushed back to the upside. Okay, so now coming to the support level, 4-hour level, is where we might find potential bullish entry, because what is going up is likely to go up. That's the law of trading. That being said, we are looking at here 15 minutes, the candlestick pattern dropping. This is a key level of support, as it is in an uptrend here. 4-hour support here. This is a 4-hour liquidity zone approaching that key level. 5 minutes perspective, also an important support. I would like to place a buy limit. Are you guys ready for the buy limit again? Say yes if you want to buy limit here. Let's wait to see. I think we can place the buy limit. If the market drop to this support here, we can look for an upside bias here, right? Yes, if you want to buy limit here, change your thumbnail. Why it didn't like it? Okay, thank you. Yep. Anyone else? Okay, that's where you can see the market from that zone coming to that support level. Welcome. So if you look at the 15 minutes here, this is the 15 minutes price action where 53 pip stop loss. We would like to place here 75 to 77 pip. We're placing 2 to 1. This is gonna be a buy limit. So buy limit gonna be at 3478.96. Welcome. Welcome, and we place that here. We place the buy limit here in this area on Xauusd. Okay, you see that the market started to bounce off that, expecting further downside here for a possible rejection. If we see the market already start to bounce back off this level here and was expecting to drop to this key level of support, but we can see the market in fact is pretty bullish, getting that rejection again back to the upside. If we see the market didn't trigger, we have again option to change the entry as soon as we see that. Thank you. We can see the market showing a bullish impulse here after this break of this high, and with this bullish impulse from the lower time frame that you can see, the market is currently showing that upside bias. So as it is a bull market, we can see the price has initially broken the structure here and then started to move back again. Now, if the market didn't touch that low hour entry, if the price break this swing high here, the trade will get expired and we will be looking for new entry. But I think we still could see a rejection back here, and if it drop back below here, that's where our entry will be triggered here. Buy limit, we place that here for this potential upside. There's a doji, which is also a red candle. The market, if it is dropping to the 4-hour support level here, but I think from this support, we could see a potential rejection back again to the upside, expecting. And if the trade triggers, our stop loss is 77 pip to 76 pip, expecting a break below here, retest, and then rejection back above again to the major direction of the trend. 5-minute spin bar, which is bearish spin bar. We might get a trigger here. Okay, we are nearing to the entry. Okay, my trade is active. I'm on the trade. You guys ready? I'm on the trade. Cool. It's active. We are almost to the 4-hour support level. Now here is the key. From here, expecting a bounce back to the upside, to the at least to 50% of this move. That's what we are looking at the moment. And let's see that how far it might be coming. It has crossed two key important support level here. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. Multi-time frame is key, as I mentioned earlier. That always we need to look at the multi-time frame for the trend confirmation. This one trade is nothing, guys, either winning or losing. Make sure that you keep bigger picture perspective. We need to look at always the long-term picture of learning and growing as a trader. So we'll be also have an in-depth education about this trade. So if you are curious about learning more, make sure you don't miss out any part of this live session. We'll be discussing in depth the strategy as well as the education behind each trade that I am opening. And also we will be looking at the proper structure in the market. So if you look at here, you can see this is a this is where the lower time frame market that you can see from this support level has got back to the upside and expecting it to potentially reject back to cross that high that you can see here is the doji, and from here the market is on this key level here. So overextended in one direction, expecting to go back at least to this resistance here. So if the market reach this nearest resistance here, which will be around 82 pip, move from this 4-hour support level here. This is the intraday support from the 4-hour perspective, as the long-term trend is up, expecting a potential rejection to at least to 50% to the upside here. See some rejection coming. So we are having news also in just a matter of 1 hour 20 minutes. Before the news, we might see that increased volatility. Now, at the moment, from this level, expecting a reaction back again, or the rejection from the support from this lower price to the higher price. Crossing that high here, expecting it to continue to rise back to the upside. Right, so expecting trend continuation. This is the second trade in a row, and see there is another smaller doji formation here in this area, expecting it to revert back again, and this is the 4-hour support level. Now the market in a very key important support level, expecting it to potentially reject back to the upside. So we are looking at here potential rejection that could lead the price back to this resistance line. Ready for another jump back to the upside here in this market. And if this market bounce, what I think, expecting to 348687 to be crossed. Ready for another bounce here to cross 3487. start to bounce back up here with another momentum. I have just entered near to the profit area, so we have used the pending order, so you all should have the same entry. Can you guys let me know in the live chat if you are running this trade with me? Let's go smash TP. Let's wait for that to happen, guys. Stay always optimistic. At the same time, must do the risk management, which is the key. If you guys enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream. If you like this stream, well done. Awesome. Let's try to catch that mob. I think we could see a bounce back here to the another key level here, and I'm ready with for this move back to the upside. If you're running this trade with me, say yes. Anyone? So 4, 5, 6. Very good. Well done. Cool. Okay, so we see that slowly pushing that price back to the upside here. All right, cool. Expecting a rejection now. A rejection now. Want to take profit? Not now yet. Want to make it to the upside here. Pushing back to the upside here. This is what I'm looking to. Find that move. With a double bottom, expecting to bounce back to the upside. Are you guys with me? So you're running some pip here. Not many, 10 pip, but expecting it to bounce to this level. That could give me quite a bit of pip here. So this is gonna be consecutive win. Last session we have one win, now this one, expecting it to bounce as the market trying to create a structure here and want to see that it's pushing back here. We are ready for all kind of risk management here, and that bounce, if the price crossing that 3487, I will be out with that. That's gonna be almost nearly to 75 pip. If the market reach 3487, I'll be out with the trade. Pushing back to the upside. All right, cool. We are on that. It's moving back to the upside here. How many people running here at the moment? We are at 27 pip running profit, expecting it to push back here as the 4-hour support the market on, and we are spot on this trade, expecting it to bounce back up to catch that move. Guys, this is the second trade, as I mentioned earlier, NFP week. And to explore more about the strategy, the exclusive trade that I'm taking, also we'll be discussing more about the education. We have updated everything in the academy, guys. If you want to look for more education, visit the website. You can find link below this video. Don't miss out the exclusive education and every detail that you can see in the academy. Here is the link below this video in the description. Visit www.forextradingwizard.com. Great. We are looking at here. Currently, the market is moving with the pips here, 42 pip running profit. I'm still holding on to that as it's going to the upside. It's going to the upside and I'm still holding on to that. I think we still can expect further bounce back to the upside here. If you look at, it's in an uptrend. $39 pip running profit. Awesome guys, pushing that back to the upside. Running 60 pip profit at the moment. 63 pip. I am going to get out with this trade right now. Taking another one today. Cool. Secured profit on this trade. $57 pip. Still moving to the upside here. It might continue to rise back. I would like your feedback, guys. If you are enjoying the live session, close, nice profit, welcome. I'd appreciate if you give a feedback in the live chat, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. So massive blue candle coming, yes. Cool, exactly to that point, and now it's on a pullback, so I'm out before that. All right, now we are out with this trade with the running profit, but always stay hungry, right? So we need to look for the next one again as soon as it appears, and at the same time, we need to create a very delicate balance, that I would say, between being hungry as a trader as well as being patient, right? So it's a two spectrum on two sides, but that's how trading is. You have to be super patient for the trade come to your zone, and at the same time, whenever there is a trade in the market, we are in the right time, in the right zone, we're gonna look for it, take it, right? So that's how we can learning a lot. Thank you. Smash the like, guys. Welcome. Yes, that's key here, learning. Okay, this is what I always emphasize on, because when you start to learn, you start to become independent trader. This is the ultimate goal of every trader, right? So you don't want to depend on others, even don't depend on me or anyone. You become an independent trader by learning to trade yourself, and that's a skill set, right? That is skill set that every trader needs. The best side, that I would say the only side, the best side in this planet Earth to make money every single day is trading, because it doesn't require anything, only skill set. You don't need any kind of investment to become a better trader. You only need to develop the skill set. And that's a skill set is here, right? Watch the live session every day. Don't miss out any live. Dedicate yourself on learning and look for the long-term goal as a trader. Long-term success. Do whatever you are doing, right? Do full-time job, part-time job, because trading doesn't require you to commit 9 hours, 10 hours a day. Commit 2 to 3 hours in a day for learning. And then if you have more time, commit more, because the more learning, the faster you'll grow. And then don't quit until 3 years, 5 years. So you can retire early. That's the goal, right? Get rich overnight is not the goal of a trader. Are you with me? It's moving here with a one single bounce back to the upside. Now, the next thing that we are looking at here is the next trade. As coming up, we have 1 hour candle close in all the instrument, right? And 4 hour here on gold from this support level has got that bounce back to the upside here, right? So, and also coming up in just a matter of an hour, another high impact news. Okay, so that news coming up is quite important, because this is the first news of this week, the high impact before the NFP. And during the NFP, guys, we will be taking few members to the academy, and so make sure you don't miss out the NFP session on Friday. We will be trading this news event with the highest possibility trade possible in the market. We will be always looking to enter the best trade. Talk with that together here. And also today coming up, starting with news, and then we will see that it's going on one after one. Now if you look at the Wednesday, that means tonight in my zone, just a matter of an hour, we will see that ISM manufacturing PMI, which is another important news coming later today, and we will be trading in this live session. So our next entry could be before the news or after the news. So now let's look at the market from fresh perspective now for that upcoming news. Now I'm going to do again full analysis, right? Now, as I mentioned earlier, guys, always look at from the beginner mindset, right? Every day when I sit on the chart, I see a new chart, right? Every minute there is a new candle. If you look at the 1 minute chart, right? So the market is constantly changing its structure. There is one mistake, simple mistakes many trader does, is when a trader sit on the chart in the morning and then they look at the chart in the evening, what impression they had in the morning, they still carry on in the evening, but the market changes completely, right? It has changed its direction, structure, as well as volume throughout the day. So the market structure has changed completely. Therefore, it's a new market, new chart. And that's what always, even every moment, we need to look at the chart from the beginner mindset. So that being said, if you look at here, you can see that we opened the trade with this bounce. Now let's understand, analyze the winners. Okay, 2 wins today, right? Yesterday as well, today as well. All the trade winner, 100%. Now, what was the reason behind the trade? Let's understand it. This is the 4-hour chart. Now, I will be looking at both trade. You guys will see that the context behind those trades, so you can start to find every detail reason. So the first trade that we have opened earlier here, right? So in that area, from this support level, this is our first entry on London session. If you guys have seen that, right? We had made money on the trade from this. And after a retest of this support, we was waiting for a bounce and the market did that, right? It made its move well above here. We were out in this area, the first trade. And then we have seen that throughout 2.5 hour time, the market trend and went above to test this. If you look at here, this liquidity zone, right? This is 1 hour narrower candle, which is support down resistance. And from that liquidity zone that you can see that support turn resistance here, and we saw that the market has reached that level, tested that, straight one single drop back to that support. Our second entry is here from this support level. Now if you look at what do you see, there's a pattern here. Look at the 4 hour. Okay, pattern is everything. Keep in mind, guys, always look for the pattern. Okay, pattern is everywhere. If you look at the galaxy, there is a pattern, right? With the human brain, one is smaller, the other one is bigger. Just scale it up. That's a pattern. Everywhere there is a pattern, right? We think in terms of pattern. That's why you'll see that according to science, people repeats 90% of their thinking repetitively. So what we have thought 9 out of 10 yesterday, today coming the same. And also on average, an adult think 60,000 thought in a day. 60,000, can you imagine? It's all science. So what are you thinking? Do you know that? 60,000. How many we can remember? We think in terms of image, right? All of that. So those patterns repeats every single day, coming as a loop, right? So one from the other, one from the other. And with those thinking, we also go through emotion, right? It's related, correlated emotion. Thinking creates emotion. Emotion creates action. Because we act based on emotion, not based on logic or reason. So that means that's a pattern. So if you like, that's why you'll see that we keep experiencing the same results over and over again, because of this same loop is repeating in the same results, and that's our outer experience remain the same because of this loop. Now the same thing is in trading. Okay, it's pattern, right? If you look at the 4 hour chart here, what do you see? That this support is what we have in both time. We have open position, right? In that area, this is a support level. What did we see? That previous session there was a bigger 8-year candle. Keep in mind, you can note that down. Whenever you see that longer and bigger 8-year candle hitting a key level of support, in an uptrend or key level of resistance in a downtrend, that's a very high probability trade setup. So in both direction, in both time, we have successfully secured the trade. And you can see that strategy works, right? All the time. What you need is trading psychology, mindset. And that's why I highly encourage, because you can learn a strategy by going through the courses. But to develop the trading psychology that requires you, or very importantly, to be successful as a trader, there's no alternative but being fully in contact with yourself as well as with the group community. That's why this community is designed. If you guys haven't joined the Telegram yet, you can find link below this video, and also visit the website. You can find link below this video for more updated information, education. Always here, you are welcome to be in the community. And also because becoming a trader needs, it's hard to become trader alone, right? So this is where you can find more information, exposure, as well as analysis. So that being said, here what we are looking at in this area, that this is a support level, bouncing off that, which is still moving in that direction. And because the market is pushing high here, if you look at, this is what you can see, the market is crossing that threshold. And as the 4-hour close coming and also the news coming up, if you look at here, you can see it's now moving back to the upside with one single bounce. And from this support level, I think the market may now retest that high, and then the candle could close as a bullish doji. Now this is potentially a bullish trend continuation pattern. If we look at the daily, here we can see the bullish move. Therefore, now the news could create a spike here. If you look at this candle close, and as soon as the candle close, there will be the news coming up, and that may create a spike in that area. And if you look at that spike, okay, so if you look at that spike here coming up with the news, we might see that spike. If the candle close here, we don't know where the candle closing, but a spike could be down and potentially continuation back to the upside here. What do you think? The spike gonna be crossing the support or going back to the upside? Let's see what majority of the traders are thinking. Action case results, welcome. Very good, very good. That's true, that's true. Great. And I'm posting a pool again, so I think pool is turned off because of, okay, so the previous pool 46 bots, bullish was 67%. You guys are right. Have ended the previous pool was 67% was bullish. That has done. Now I'm looking at here another pool that starting for now for spike. What do you think with the spike? So that's what it is. You can see that I posted another pool for spike, right? Spike up, spike down. Cast a vote, guys, to show what do you think. I'll take 1 minute break here while you are casting the vote. And in the meantime, if you haven't liked the stream, you can do so, guys, to show more engagement, as well as if you haven't subscribed yet also you can do so. I'm coming in 1 minute time and we'll be going from there. All right, welcome back. I think it's come down below 3470 briefly and then spike up. Okay, so I posted a poll here. See that 18 votes, so spike up a lot, 89%. So still I know that many of you haven't cast the vote. Spike up. It's a bull market. You look at here, you can see the series of lower high. looking at quite a few long wick doji that I was looking at, guys, in this area. Up and down, creating a range. Okay, anyone has a different opinion? Or it's break up near 3500 and then drop down again, waiting for a touch for support and resistance. Yes, I think there is less probability for one-way direction. Because if you look at, all right, if you look at the 4 hour, that you can see that this is where the market has tested the daily low and then rejected back to the upside here, right? So the current candle is still, it didn't close the candle yet. We see there's still 36 minutes for this candle to close. But with the current candle, it's an inside bar, right? So that inside bar represents potentially sideways movement in this lower time frame. Now, when we see that sideways movement, that means it's a triangular pattern. Now, in an uptrend, the triangular pattern most likely to break to the upside here. So if the spike come down, that could lead the price again back to the upside. In that case, we could see that spike down, grab the liquidity, that means all the stop loss hit, and then the market to trend back up. So basically, if you look at that triangle, first of all, we might see that triangular pattern formation in that area and then break that low, okay, with the spike potentially trending back up again in the major direction. That could be the potentially a move here on gold. Let's grab the liquidity. Yeah, so what we will be doing here as a trader, you know, the smart money is who grab the liquidity. We normally follow their footstep. You see that the strategy that I use based on the smart money system, you can see here, this is the most updated trading tool that I'm using, the SMC entry. And according to SMC entry, here is the bullish trade and the market in fact move in that direction, right? This tool, as I mentioned earlier, also more information you can find in the website on the front page. If you go to the website here below the link. Now this tool is one of my best strategy based on the liquidity graph. Now here is the liquidity graph. You can see that this is the smart money. With this tool, I can identify when the smart money potentially putting volume in the market, because it's sometimes very hard to find exactly understanding. You can't know exactly anything in trading. That's very unusual to know, because you know trading is about probability. But once you can find out that where the smart money potentially be heading, that's where high probability trade comes in play. So if you look at here in this market, this is where the smart money bought, and the market, you can see that from that zone in fact has crossed that to the upside here. Now when smart money grab liquidity, we don't have to exactly trade when the smart money is trading. This is the big advantage from the retail trader to the smart money trader, because for example, if I give you a clear idea of this candlestick pattern, that you can see this entry candle on the 4-hour time frame. So when the smart money is creating this candle, they have to guess the price. So this is a huge advantage that retail trader has, because as a retail trader we don't have to gas like the smart money. We can follow their footstep. Imagine that there is a territory, okay, a no man's land, and you don't know which way to go. It's all desert. When a giant walk in one direction, it leaves the footstep that you can follow, right? And you don't have to discover a new way. You can follow that footstep, go in that direction. That's how retail traders can be making a great deal of profit, more than the smart money, because smart money has a lot of limitations. Doesn't have the liquidity, right? They need liquidity to fill their order, and more often they cannot find all those trade they're looking for. But we don't have that limitation. It's a big deal, right? So that being said, here if we look at this area, the same thing here, which is a support level here, and in that support, what we can see, the market has bounced back to the upside. So 4-hour candle close coming in few minutes, in 30 minutes time, and back to back quite a few dojis. And what I think that before the news, we might see here before the news quite a few candles on a sideway, and then the market to potentially break in one direction. That's what we're looking at here in this market. Is the market slowly trying to push that price here, expecting a pullback and then to return again to the upside. Welcome. You're a very great channel. Thank you very much. What is your take on trade gold on Gbpjpy? Okay, so here is where if you look at slowly building the pressure back to the upside here, and from this support level, if you look at moving again back to the upside. So as we bought from here, in fact, if you look at now, as the market is showing the trend continuation, and I would like to see the candle close at the moment on 4-hour. That will be the best entry. But before candle close, if the market break this 4-hour low, in case that's touching the 4-hour 10 EMA, can be another entry point here. What do you think? Now, along with gold, what's happening with DXY? I'd like to see, while we are waiting for another entry on gold. Okay, so it's breaking again back below here. if we look at the weekly perspective here on DXY, you can see the market in this area here. Okay, so here is what you can see on DXY, just to see that overall direction in the market on DXY, where it is heading to. Now, what's happening here on DXY, what you can see, that this is where from this, if you look at this, is an inverted head and shoulder. And with this inverted head and shoulder, the market managed to break completely to the upside. Here, this is the 4-hour doji here in that area on DXY. And if we look at the weekly market structure on DXY, you can see the market, it's a uptrend, it's a downtrend. It's a downtrend here on DXY, creating series of lower high. And we see that there is a weekly breakout after crossing of this low here. And that's where, if you look at the market tested, and we can expect it to return again in that direction here, right? So if you look at the 4-hour here, which is pretty sharp doji on the 4-hour time frame, there is a resistance here. And as this is a long week, a resistance from that resistance is created the long week from the 4-hour. We may see that now the price to have another rejection. Now, there are two probable scenarios here. Is from the weekly, the market to cross this high and then to return again. So this is a support on DXY, and the market slowly getting rejection from this high. And that rejection, that we can see that from this high, the price slowly trying to break that low in that area. So the long-term trend is down on DXY. You can see maintaining that series of lower high. Here, depending on how this 4-hour closing, it's an important point that to look at. We may see that from the 4-hour, if you look at, this is a support on the 4-hour, expecting the market may break that low and could bounce back here to the upside and then to drop back again to the downside here. So DXY could still remain bearish. We see that bounce back to the upside here, so that could bring all those USD pairs. If you look at the euro dollar from the support level, getting now a rejection. So from the daily, you can see this is the daily drop today, which has almost crossed that support, and the market may again started to bounce back to the upside on euro dollar, and also in the same way the British pound US dollar. British pound US dollar has dropped a lot today with one on a single day. So basically it has crossed that support completely, and possible bounce again on Gbpusd later. So that being in mind, we can keep euro dollar in the watch list for any suitable entry, while looking at gold for another entry as soon as possible. Here is the 4-hour support. The market now breaking that low from this support to the upside here, and here is the move consolidation. You could see that another move back to the upside here in this market. Right, so what you can see, the market here slowly creating that momentum back to the upside, and we see that the price, in fact, if you look at here, you can see after break of this low, the ATR is key here, and with this ATR that we have seen the previous session here, if you look at, you can see this is the 1 hour price action from this level here, a complete breakdown here to this support level. That is very effective way to look at the market. If you look at, you see that works very, very importantly, especially when we are looking at the major direction of the trend, right? So when you see the market is on the direction of the trend, and if you look at the major trend is up, break down to the support level with a bigger ATR to the down, and that's all you need to understand the overall picture in the market. So as coming up in the next 15 minutes, if you look at here, you can see this is the 15 minutes candlestick pattern. It's closing in 1 minute. So the next candle could be bouncing back to the upside or coming back below here to fill that zone. And that's where another potential entry coming for us to look for from here, from this level to this support, moving back again to that level. If you look at here, you can see from this level to this support, going back up again, expecting it to potentially coming back here to this support level. And at the moment, if you look at is the 4 hour, which is from this support, complete breakout. 1 hour also moving. The 15 minutes from this liquidity grab. Yeah, so you can see it's now crossing that high here. Okay, so we could see that potential push back to the upside in that area, that you can see the market slowly building that pressure back to the upside. Bigger risk, bigger reward is the key here to look at. Now here is the market from this support level. If you look at here, you can see it in fact as we discussed, that reached that 4-hour resistance line. It almost reached there, and as the news coming, if the candle closing here as a bull candle and the market remaining in between this high and low, as we discussed, that's an inside bar. And as though it's an inside bar, if you look at the lower time frame, you can spot the triangular consolidation here. Look at the 15 minutes, you can spot that triangular pattern in this area. So from that triangle, the market potentially to be breaking to the upside here. And that is what we are looking at. If you look at here, you can see the market is showing potentially break to the upside here, and there is a lot of imbalance in this market. Always looking for trade from imbalance towards the imbalance. So those candle, you can see these areas where the market dropped, and whenever the price will have a chance, it's gonna, you'll see that it's push back up here to fill those zone, those imbalance. That means the seller sold here has not been balanced by a buyer. So basically that's the whole point of imbalance, because if you look at market, you'll see that from order block you see breakout or breakdown, breakout in an uptrend if you look at, and then pull back. As a rule of thumb, should be pull back to the order block to fill that zone, but you'll see the market doesn't pull back that much, leave a gap which is fair value gap, that imbalance, and then it just keep leaving that kind of imbalance until it finally breaks down again, strongly dropping back to the order block. That's the whole mechanism of how the market moves. You'll see that over and over again. So we are almost close to this candle close on the 4-hour. You can see it's again coming back. Now in the next 10 minutes, it even might come back here for another retest. It is coming back for another retest on the next 10 minutes here. That's gonna be huge. You'll see price coming back to that. So it's now from that resistance slowly creating that move back below here, and we are seeing the price slowly coming back from that high to continue to drop here to the support level. And in the last moment, you can see that it's now having a sharp rejection from this trend line here. If you look at, right, so that rejection, as in the last moment there is a rejection here in this market, we could see that the market too potentially trending back below to this support level here. All right, so it's now creating those dodges here in that area. And with this doji, after multiple candlestick pattern formation, we could see the market to have that spike here. Welcome. Gbpusd. With this liquidity gap here, 10 and 20 MA crossover, and slowly showing possibly trend continuation back to the upside. This price action that you can see is potentially be bullish here. So that bullish price action, if we look at here in this area, which is an important support level, expecting it potentially to trend here back to the upside to this key level resistance in that area. Here's a double top and expecting it to break that high and then to trend. Are you guys ready for a spike here? We have 3 minutes to go for this news to come up, and then we'll have a clear, potentially a directional bias here, as with the first news of this week for dollar, we could see that the market showing a direction. That means if the gold is coming for deeper pullback, or it's again going back to the major direction, it even could range in this area till the NFP. It's possible for the market to range a bit of extended period of time, and then to potentially even drop for a deeper pullback with NFP, or continue to rise. Or if you look at the monthly here, we can see a completely different picture. Still with those lines that you guys will see that with the monthly, it's a very strongly bullish. So the trend continuation is the most high probable scenario here. If the news break that high, that's gonna be even more probable that the market continue to rise here. Let's look at that here. A few seconds for the news to come up. And because it's NFP, could see comparatively stronger move here. $48.7. How does that impacted DXY? So DXY potentially coming down here. So we see the euro dollar bouncing off. And with the 4-hour close, the market, if you look at here, this is key support, having the rejection potentially back to the upside here from this liquidity zone, a doji. Complete drop, doji, and potentially trend continuation. This is a resistance line here, trend line, and with a middleman that you can see on the 30 minutes perspective, the market slowly trying to break that high here. So yeah, very high probable the market will continue to trend, and there's no reference line at the top, so the possibility to create a higher high and continue to go up. To find an entry, 1 hour support is an important level that we can look at. Now here we can see that on gold on the lower time frame is after this inverted head and shoulder, it managed to has broken back to the upside here with a resistance, breaking to the upside, may potentially continue to trend here, and therefore the possibility to create a new higher high is higher. So the trend continuation is high probable on gold, and any pullback here we look at is a support test, an entry zone, 30 minutes, 1 hour and 15 minutes, and the lower time frame that we can see the market is in a bullish trend. So these are some support level that we are looking at here in those market that we can look for possible entry opportunity in this market. Okay, the next entry here for us to look at 3488 or in that area. This is the area that we are looking at for possible entry on gold, which is an important support level. And coming for another possible test on the support that we can see the market almost there, and okay, we see this is a bullish trend continuation, and we may see the market to continue to rise. So this is the level that I will be primarily looking at for a break in, as this is the 1 hour candle. You can see it just started this candlestick pattern, and expecting a pullback to this 1 hour support on gold. That's the area that we'll be looking for entry once the market drop to that 1 hour support. And this is a very sharp reversal confirmation here for this downtrend to an uptrend, and we might see the market ultimately cross 3, 5, 10 and possibly move up further. So that being said, guys, we will be waiting for an entry here. We found a directional bias, which is a major milestone in this news release, that we can see the market trend potentially to remain bullish and possibly breaking that daily high here. All right, so, and from that area, that if you look at crossing the daily high could be an important zone, that, and this is the support. Once the market managed to drop to that, we'll be targeting to the daily resistance line from this support. That's the plan for an upside move here on gold. And this is another trading session with all of you guys. I believe you enjoyed this session. We had 2 sessions today, 2 trades. You don't need a lot of trading. You need few trades, but winner, right? High win rate. Now this week so far we have 100% winner. Now we want to keep that running, keep that running. That's how trading is, guys. Whenever you have better entry, take it, do the risk management, focus on learning long-term growth as a trader. This is NFP week. I would like to see you guys again very soon, trading live together. Tomorrow again, twice, with including the news coming up. We will be covering all of that. Don't miss out this week any session, as this is a big week. Until that, guys, stay well, stay happy. I'll see you there again, trading live together.